absolutely no action going on.
You can introduce everybody. Introduce the game.
Yeah. What's the start time here?
I don't know.
It's
Well, when's it supposed to be?
What time is it now?
It's 4:50.
4:50.
4:50?
Yeah.
It's supposed to start at 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're a little 10 minutes ahead.
Yeah, we would have been more if I didn't get the All-Star Game draft organized.
That's good.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, man.
We're waiting on Cameron anyway.
All right, you guys are live. Gus, you ready?
Welcome to beautiful Manchester, Missouri. We are at the Blur. It's Sunday afternoon. In my opinion, John, the best time of the weekend to be here.
Absolutely. Sunday is always an interesting day, John. It's considered moving day for most of the teams here. Most members put it this way. You can't win the tournament on Saturday, but you can certainly lose it.
I'll get back to you on that because it certainly can be lost. Now, I'm told this is a big game, but I'm confused by that statement because both these teams are clearly in the playoffs. So what could be big about this game?
You know, first off, as Brian Kenny, starting left fielder for the Rockies, flies out to Chris Meador, which that guy almost has platinum hands in lockdown every year. But to answer your question, John, I think the Rockies, even though they do have a great record as it stands, are fighting for one of those top playoff spots, and they called him out there.
Only Meador, by the way.
Only Meador makes
Only
that
Meador
play.
makes that play. No one else.
Nope. And that's why he is elite. But
So you're saying the Rockies are still fighting for that 1 seed? Is that what you're getting at here?
I think so. Well, as a fellow participant in the division on the Astros, we're sitting at 5-3.
I heard they're 7-2 with only 2 losses being to the Astros.
Is it
that-
7-2?
is
I
that
thought
true?
they were 5-2. Well, we got a fact check on that.
They're 5-2.
It's not even.
5
So
and
they
2.
still have 3 more games to play.
Exactly. So if they lose this one, they are equal, and we have head-to-head sweep. So that is an interesting one. I think that's why it would be a big game.
You can see Chad warming up with the Bizarro ball over there. I don't know what that was.
Chad, a newcomer of the season.
Over here.
What is he? Brian Kenny's brother-in-law?
I believe he is Brian Kenny's wife's brother, is what I was told.
Yeah.
Which is pretty typical of the SWBL to be related to or marry into a family of someone who's already playing in the league.
Absolutely. And as I've heard from many folk, Chad has been trying to get in the league for years. And I understand why. He's a good pitcher. He can throw it.
He is a good pitcher.
No, they only have 2 losses.
He's going to have, if he continues to play in this league, which I think he probably will, he's going to have a constant battle with that radar guy. He'd be wise to solve the problem on his own before making teams solve it for him. But
Absolutely.
he's a very effective pitcher.
We got Chris Meador in the box, and he swings over the top of a knuckleball low and away.
I feel like he was wasting that one.
He might have been, but you never know with Meador. Looks like Blake Spencer, little brother Brett of the Expos, tried to pull a little Chris Meador out of the bag there. Came up a little short.
You know what? There's no better time to, quote-unquote, pull a Meador than playing against Chris Meador.
I would agree.
So Spencer's hat.
I
Your
don't
thoughts?
I can tell you this.
You can be rude, by the way. That one
Man,
stayed
that
fair.
stayed fair. Spencer Bogad hits another home run, stays hot. But regarding that feather, I can tell you what, it didn't come with the hat. I think it looks like he found it on the side of the road. He might have hit a duck or a goose.
Whatever it came out of, he hit it.
He did.
Good job, John Crook.
Then we got Cory McCarthy.
Who I believe is, from the limited action I've seen this year, has got to be a front runner for the MVP.
You think so? I think entering into the day, another home run from Cory McCarthy.
So, as I was saying,
He's only gotten out twice. Before going into today, I believe he only got out twice. So sporting a darn near 800 average going into Sunday.
yeah, and I'm not going to pretend I have not looked at stats, and I have not watched every game. But the games I've watched, he's been the most impressive player of the league this far. He's kind of what Gus was first half of last year.
Sure.
We just really enjoy watching it.
Oh, absolutely. We got Ed Lodonin, the all or nothing. He has a good eye right now. He's wearing his glasses. That's probably helping.
Shout out to the Ketting Eye Center sponsor of the SWBL.
Absolutely. Naturally purchased.
And the knuckleball is new to this. He did not throw that yesterday.
No, Chad's
He's trying it.
his arsenal did not include that. Yeah.
Now, what he is doing effectively is when he throws that little knuckler or a spinner, whatever you want to call that tornado pitch, it's coming in a lot slower than the rest of his pitches. So he's changing speeds. That's what I think makes Blake Spencer very effective, is changing the speeds.
Absolutely.
And Chad's trying to vary that a little bit, which good hold from Spencer. And is an effective way to pitch the ball.
Right. And
Good hold from Edlow. Wow,
yeah, it's okay.
my twins all mixed up here.
And then he just goes back to his roots with this fastball, and it stayed firm and flat, and he struck it, hitting the zone. It is firm.
It is. Now, you've got the lefty here, and what I'm noticing about this at bat is that Brian Kinney is not going to give him what I would call the disrespectful shift. So some guys in this league get the hard shift. Two guys within that kind of 60-degree, or I guess if I go another way, inside that 45-degree window there. BK is going to respect the outfield power, and that's why right there, huh?
But here's the deal. You give him the line over there, same outcome. He gets a single, nothing hurt.
I almost feel like you and I could co-manage a team with that strategy, because that's exactly how I view it.
Absolutely.
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Right.
Have it.
When you
If you're
look-
not going to do it, I'm going to give myself the best chance to make an out.
Exactly. Force them to beat the shift.
Yeah.
And if he does, tip your cap. Move on.
And most importantly, just limit him to one base,
Right.
which is what the Rockies did there.
Exactly. Well played, in my opinion.
Now, the downside of doing that is you bring up Spencer Bogad with the man on.
Sorry, I heard what you said, but I wasn't really listening. I had a gun guy rubbing his inner thigh back there. Started to confuse me, the therapy gun.
So I've been giving those guys a hard time all weekend because, we're all getting a little older. I'm 34. You're
27.
okay. You're still young, but as the age of the league, the average age of the league, increases, we all look 10 to 15 years past the age we are on this league.
You want a beer?
Yes.
And when you bring out those muscle relaxing guns like they're doing, you look even older than you are.
I agree.
And that's the youngest team in the league over there. It's the
by far,
Marlins.
by far. And
Those guys are in their mid-20s.
I won't say I'm above the therapy guns. I've dove a few times and gotten some bruises from the weekend, like we all do. But I think that middle tier of age right now, you're either in really great shape or you're feeling the burn of getting older. But you've held up greatly. I mean, think about that.
It takes a lot of prep work coming into this,
Sure.
and mainly mental preparation to know what you're
So
getting.
no physical prep work for you.
No, I think it's all mental.
And we got dancers on the field now, interrupting the
Someone
game.
has to get my sister out of the way.
Somebody take care of this.
She's embarrassing. But no, it's all. I think it's mainly mental. For example, I've never worked in years. I should say, not never. A Tuesday of Memorial Day weekend afterwards. You got to mentally take that day off work. coming into
Recharge.
this, and just know, sitting here tomorrow, that I'm not expected to go to work, answer phone calls or emails. That's part of the prep work that goes into this. You got to be ready for what you're getting into.
So are you one of those guys that's taking Friday to Tuesday off then?
No,
Or is it just-
I worked Friday. No one expects you to
Out of pocket,
be
you
there
know?
past 3 o'clock.
Sure.
I actually golfed Friday.
It's lovely.
Humble brag here. Started weak, but finished par bogey par,
Great.
which for me is
Fantastic. What handicap are you, John?
about a 19.
Okay,
I
that's
am not good at
But
golf.
that's fantastic then for a 19 guy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like the guys in the upper teens, they're dangerous because they could have a really bad day, but if they have a decent day, they win tournaments. That's how it works.
We'll ignore the double on the course and just focus on the finish there.
Absolutely. Now we got Spencer Bogad throwing balls into the dirt for the Twins while he wears a Phillies jersey.
And you know that Breida is just really wanting a good pitch to crash.
Yeah.
Breida's he might be like the typical, as I see him strike out there, I'm going to brag on him before he struck out.
Yeah.
He might be like the typical show up, give you what I got. It's usually good enough. Sometimes it's just not, and I'm going to do everything I can do to beat you. And unfortunately for you, usually it beats you. Kind of guy in this league.
Sure. He's got all the tools.
Every single one. So,
We got Grant Boyd.
Grant Boyd, one of the guys who I believe was sorely missed last year, and people maybe didn't realize it until he's back this year, and you realize, hang on, he's actually a pretty cool guy. I was really bummed he missed last year because
As he
was
lines
good to
one
have him.
over to center field.
part of the reason is because of that. Now, what is up with socks of the Rockies this weekend? Have you noticed that?
I have noticed. What is it, Willy Wonka and Pringles? Yeah.
You're seeing orange Pringles on BK. You're seeing yesterday there was green Pringles, which by the way is the best flavor of Pringles.
Is that sour cream and onion?
Sour cream and onion on Blake yesterday. Did they conspire and buy these together?
I think so. I think it's part of their brand, at least for this year.
But why chips and why the socks?
I think they're just big snack guys.
You could have bought in like Reese's Pieces armbands.
Well, it lets
But
you
you
know
want
what
Pringles
they
socks.
prefer, in the kitchen.
How about this? If you were going to rep a candy or chip or snack brand on any part of your body, what snack brand
Okay.
and what part of your body?
That's a very good question. One that I believe would take a lot more time than we have allotted. But if you give me about 5 seconds, I think I'll have one for you.
I don't have an answer. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I
Yeah.
haven't thought about it. BK's having a strong at bat here, by the way. Bogad pitched earlier against the Expos and pitched very effectively.
Absolutely.
He claimed it was a throwaway game because they didn't throw Will Rath against us, and they clearly haven't locked the playoff spot up, or not throwing Will
Sure.
Rath against the Rockies, which
Absolutely.
is I think. But putting myself on the spot, I would probably go Reese's,
Big key. You're sweet
cups.
Scott.
just peanut butter,
Okay.
a little bit of chocolate. But the part of the body is the harder one to answer.
Yeah,
So
you
I
know-
don't think I'm going socks
Yeah.
or armbands.
No. I was thinking tattoo. Maybe Doritos.
Speaking of tattoo, did you see Kevin Wheatucker earlier?
I did. He was sporting a very, very large tattoo on a very attractive piece of his body.
So I think that the bigger part of that story that should not be overlooked is that was in Brett Spencer's contract from last year.
I'm surprised that guy rolled in,
If the Expos won the championship,
in which they did.
he had to get the tattoo on his body.
Interesting.
Why don't more people enter that kind of stuff into their contracts, John?
I think it shows the creativity of the player and the team. I think that area is lacking for a lot.
We trade guys for cases of beer, sometimes 6-packs if you're bad. I probably would be traded for a 40 right now. But these players have some ability, some privilege. They have some leverage, if you will, over the managers.
They do.
Do crazy stuff like that.
Especially if you're a talented player, like Wheatucker. You can come in, or even Brett. I guess
Yeah,
Brett
yeah.
had it in his contract.
Brett had it in his contract.
The power's on his table.
And he took it full advantage. And I'm encouraging more people to take full advantage
Sure.
of their power. If you're a player and you're listening or watching,
What a play!
that was a good hit and a better play.
Chris Meador, to catch our audience up, hit an absolute missile of a one-hopper to Chad of the Rockies on the mound.
Chad
And
throwing hand out on,
Yes.
taking a risk there.
could injure himself.
Could. Some of us
And
go
he
would.
catches it one-handed and records the out. What a play by the pitcher, Chad of the Rockies.
There's something to be said about pitchers who can field their position.
Really is. It's an asset to any team.
And in this league especially.
Hitters
play-
league.
You play the field a lot. I play the field a little bit. When you make a play in the field and you turn and look at your pitcher who's covering, what we call first base,
Sure.
how comforting is it when that guy's in position, arms up, ready to field the thing,
Well,
versus the guy who's still scrambling to get there, and you're having a
just like that.
just like that. Thank you, Spencer and Meador, for showing what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you, I'm a lot more confident in the guy that is there versus the opposition. But when you're in the field and you're trying to create a team or a lineup, I think what it comes down to is, are you going to trust that guy next to you? Is he going to be where he needs to be, and is he going to know the situation? And, I mean, that right there, Spencer Bogad doesn't try to cup it, doesn't try to scoop it. He bodies it up.
Didn't try and rush it. Exactly.
Knows he has time. Bodies it up right in front of him. Easy out.
Also knows there's nobody on and one out. So if he misses the play, who cares? I'll give myself the shot to make the play, because if I don't, all right.
Nothing there. Ball's right in front of him.
We'll go to the next one.
Exactly.
And that guy's not taking 2, not taking 3, all that.
Not at all. And it's looking like the guy who records the last out will be leading off for the Twins. Spencer Bogad stepping into the box, gives the thumbs up to Chad. Chad fires it back, and here we are kicking off.
So we tonight have, as we see ball 1 come across, we have the All-Star game.
We do.
This is a pretty cool thing, in my opinion, that we do, is that is flied high. BK gets under it, calls it, makes the play. No one is shocked. We have the All-Star game tonight. And I'm assuming you've played an All-Star game or two.
I've not.
You have not.
Never have. Isn't that wild?
So I voted for 2 players from my division today, and one of them was Blake Spencer,
Yes.
and one of them was John Callaway. That is gone
That
in
is
a
a
big
bomb.
way. In a big way.
That is a moonshot.
Did you get the call?
I've not.
All-Star game? No?
Has
That
it
you
already
didn't get
hit?
it? I
Has
don't
it already
know.
happened?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
You know,
was
it's
gonna
one of those
segue to
deals
that.
where, you can look at stats and compare the data. It's one of those things where you can't put much expectation on it, because year over year, some guys are going to produce consistently, and I like to think of myself as one of them. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on the team record moving forward.
As I mentioned earlier, I don't look at stats, and I don't watch every game, but the games I watch, I take seriously and I pay attention to. And I saw the 2 players who in my division who
Having good years.
played the played the best. Blake pitched really well against us, and that he was varying speeds, and his curveball was curving, and he deserved to be there. And I saw you make plays. Maybe against us, I don't remember, but I saw you make plays in other games and hit a couple dingers, and I thought those are the 2 guys who I think best represent our, by the way, our gauntlet of a division.
It's the division of death.
And so I would, if you don't get the call, I'd be a little surprised.
We'll see, man.
And maybe it's not been announced. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm excited to hang around
cheers
and watch
to that. I
a little
appreciate
bit.
the vote.
Hey, you earned it. I didn't give it to you. You earned it.
It'll be interesting how it shakes out.
It is a fun time. Now, it may not be as fun this year. Last year, we think we did All-Stars, but no one played the game because
COVID.
and no fans. And the fans make the deal. Speaking of fans, by the way, as we're sitting in here with Grant Boyd, who I would love to see just crack one. Not because I like the Rockies or dislike Spencer, but because I just want to see Grant Boyd crack one.
I can't get over
That'd
those
be
Willy
fun.
Wonka socks, man.
Didn't even
Does
see
he?
him. Pops it up underneath.
Not enough power.
Cory McCarthy with the out, easy out. No idea. Oh yeah.
We got Brian Kenny in the box now.
But speaking of fans, I'm going to segue a little bit to Game 1 next year, Season 20. And you don't live in town. You're in Springfield. Right?
That is correct.
So those of you who are in town, show up for Game 1.
Absolutely.
That was a lot of fun last weekend. And as I wrote in my article, the only thing missing was people. And we'll shout out Kent and Kathy Cornell, the lone fans
Always,
who
man.
braved it and sat there through the whole game. And no one was invited.
Woo!
Great play by Cory, good hit by BK. He
Ryan
slams the bat
Kent.
in frustration. But
It's an absolute missile.
What are you gonna do?
Right at the guy. And
can't hit it
2
harder.
feet to the left, 2 feet to the right. That's a hit.
But that video could really pop next year if you're talking about 50 players, even 40 players, 30 players in the stands, watching the game on video, cheering for the players in the game, cheering for big plays, big situations.
Yeah.
That would absolutely make that thing a huge,
Monumental.
huge success. More than it already was, but it could make it a bigger success.
Sure. Well, season 22, coming in a lot of rumors about how things are going to be shaken up. Who knows what?
You want to talk rumors? We can talk rumors.
Well, it might be a segue into that. I don't know what's going to happen next year. You hear
Did you
rumors.
sign a 1-year deal with the Astros, or?
Well, I signed a 5-year deal,
Oh boy.
but it has a clause in it.
And what does that clause say? Speaking of player, earlier I was getting on players to leverage their power in contracts. What'd you do, John Boy?
I think before switching from the Yankees to the Astros, there were some rumors already started, and most of those surrounding league expansion, adding another team or so. And I said, hey, Brian, I want to be here long term, but if I get pegged as part of that expansion to start my own team, which is still in the unknown,
Very fair.
that will be my opt-out. And obviously we agreed and signed, and here I am playing for the Astros. Hopefully for the next 4 years after this season.
That might be one of the smartest things. Spencer Bogat home run. Absolutely no one is shocked, by the way.
Not at all.
That might be one of the smartest things I've ever heard in this league. And I've been around for a little while. To have a carve out for that specific reason. Because what you're saying is, Benware, I'm all in. I got you, you got me, we're going to do this together. But if an opportunity exists that helps the league, it helps the players. Because if you were to captain a team, you would not be helping yourself. You'd be helping everyone else who you sign.
Part of our growth, too, as a league. And we want to be as diverse as we can.
Sam has to have...
Oh, man.
That's a jack job. Again, if he doesn't win MVP, and again, I've not watched a lot of games, I've seen a lot of stats, someone has to have a really good game.
It's almost like every swing he has is going over the wall or it's hit extremely hard.
And he's getting every single one of his home runs.
I haven't gotten any of mine.
I haven't hit any, so I don't know what to... that's a foul ball if we're being technical. Yeah.
Tries to bail out Edlo Don, and it hits his bat.
It hit the butt of the bat. A lot of things that I've never seen in wiffle ball this weekend have happened this weekend. That was one of them. The butt of the bat foul ball, home run, Edlo, great hit.
I haven't seen one of those this weekend.
2 balls getting stuck in the tree in right field, and I'm talking stuck, didn't come down, are probably still there. That was wild. A lot of things I've not seen. The Marlins winning the game, something I've never seen.
Yeah.
Things
I don't
that
think
are
anybody's seen that.
crazy have happened this weekend. So it's been a little wild for sure.
Absolutely. We got Chris Meador in the box, 2-0, now 3-0. Really good eye on this guy. Probably looking for that perfect pitch. And we are watching Chad become quite shaken.
He's pitched well, and this is where that kind of that mental part. He got Meador to chase that, but that's why Meador said, "I'm not going to chase it because I choose to. Because you're going to make me. I'm going to chase it because I choose to chase it and hit a single." So
yeah, you put it there. I'm going to force your hand.
Good bat.
Fast feet.
Those of you that saw it, no one went to make a play on the ball because they knew they weren't going to get him. The goal there is now we're going to hold him to one. We're not going to make the out as the screwball comes back. A little knuckleball. It's a little different than Jimmy's. It kind of spins. Jimmy's moves, his spins.
And it is hard to, as we take a break here to regather the balls and replenish the stock, it's hard to guess what Meador's going to do. He has so many assets in his toolbox where if you want to pull it, he'll pull it. If you give him the opportunity, he's going to smack it down the line and force you to go get it. I love the strategy that we're talking about, in defending Meador, giving him that shift. But what a tough bat that you have to overcome against Spencer Bogat. The goal is to limit it to 1 run. But you put a guy like that in the box right after Meador.
And that's probably why Meador was content with slapping the ball down the line, because he knew that if he got to first, and you brought up Spencer, 2-time reigning MVP,
good things probably going to happen.
Probably going to happen. Now we will see here as Mr. Feather in his cap has let 2 balls go by and taken a fairly weak swing by his standards at a ball that was fouled off. So I
and
believe
if
it's
Spencer
3-1.
doesn't do it, Cory's probably going to do it, given his year. Let's see what happens here. Just missing the outside corner.
Good pitch. Good hold. That was going to dink if he didn't swing at it. So
Doesn't
he
it
had to
look
fight
like
it off.
his bat is a little slower this at bat? His hands aren't moving through.
You say slower, I say more calculated. Either way, he's going to have to do something right here because he's got 2 strikes. And, he pops it that is going to stay. It's going to go.
And it's sailed out.
Blake had me faked out. I was watching the fielder.
Got just enough to hit it out of the park.
Blake kind of camped like he was going to get it. Thought he was going to stay and play. Spencer has just enough power. Way less than John Cook, by the way.
Absolutely.
And
As they argue whether or not they have 6 or 7 runs, Cory McCarthy steps into the box.
never a good feeling when you're in the field and the other team's arguing whether they have 6 or 7 runs.
Yeah, both good for an inning, I'd say. I think we've only had one of those this year. What's been your favorite part of the season so far, John?
Man, that's a good question.
Jeez.
You know, I've got several answers. Depending on who I'm going to answer it is Blake makes a great effort at it. I'm a little disappointed to see him not get it just because I want to selfishly see a good fielding play. I'm sure you can respect that as a good fielder yourself. And clearly they had 6 as they just got 7 right there. You know, I've got a couple different answers. You know, I've got the old standby, hanging out with my friends. We get this little tradition on the Expos where Gary Wheatucker grills flank steak on Saturday. So yesterday he brought
like
us
that cut?
little slices of flank steak and eating that and hanging out with those guys. It's a lot of fun. But I think the answer is going to be just being on the field, in the field, trying to make some plays, making a couple. You know, you missed a couple too. Being out there, watching the guys hit, watching Jimmy and Brett throw, being in the game. It's probably my answer. How about you?
You know, I think it normally I would echo what you just said. But this year, since I missed last year, it's just being around everybody. And I missed the camaraderie last year with my absence. And that is a skyscraper from Blake Spencer hitting a home run over the right field wall.
That was one of the higher home runs I've seen to right field.
Absolutely,
in a
even
long time.
for a lefty or righty.
Yeah,
But
fair.
you know, back on that question, I think getting here, playing again, seeing the people, being competitive, it's all part of the fun.
That one hit the tree and fell right straight back down. Breda's back in the box.
I think he's going to get a meaty pitch here.
Yeah, you know, in one of those preseason captain interviews that I did with Sam, you know, he said, "What's the best part of the season?" And my answer is, "Will never change." I think I might be 55 one day and still out there limping around, but the answer is going to be the pool, right? The best part of coming out here is being in the pool, hanging out with guys,
Smoking stogies.
hanging out, just enjoying the atmosphere, and you know, running into people. You know, I might see these guys one time a year for 4 days, but it's a damn pretty good 4 days, right?
I'd argue best 4 days of the year. Outside of Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving, am I right?
Well, you're still missing a day, by the way. But
Yeah, and what do we want to throw on birthday? Birthday.
You get it depends on how old you're turning, but yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Let's go with birthday for sure. So I know I hear you totally.
Could throw Halloween in there, but I'm not a big Halloween guy.
It-
Wow.
That's what I've been looking for. Graham Boyd to come out in a big way. He just did.
The sweet as Willy Wonka lefty swing, man.
And you know, speaking of guys who missed last year and came back, it's good to see. It's good to see someone who missed out last year come out and have a little bit of fun.
Absolutely.
I know you can appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we were on a podcast together last year, Grant and myself, and ironically, you know, we didn't know this, but once we had the podcast, we knew both of us were probably going to miss out on the year. So we had some sympathy for one another and could feel the pain and relate to the issue of not being here. Spencer just tried to sneak one in there, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, what I would say to that is that one is jack job, just total bomb city. BK just saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm here. By the way, I'm here. Don't forget about me. I've got a goofy haircut and a goofy headband, but I'm here.
And facial hair.
Don't forget about me."
Yeah, goofy socks, goofy hair, goofy facial hair, goofy headband, goofy guy. Loves the orange Pringles. Spencer's playing games with him now. Throwing balls 20 feet in the air. Fires back with a tight slide piece just a little low.
So because I see Blake in the box, Have you always been a batting glove guy, or is that new?
First
for you?
year.
I was gonna
First
say, I don't
year.
remember you being a batting glove guy. Tell me about that.
You know, I had them in my car and looked at them and thought, maybe I'll wear them this year. First time swinging them was the first game Friday night against the Yankees. Definitely interesting.
It's that simple, huh?
That's simple. There was no logic or deep thought process to it.
Let's not gloss over what you just said. How was it playing against the Yankees?
It was fun.
Tell me how it was.
It was fun, you know. That whole breakup happened.
Ground ball, Meador
was
with the
another
lift,
amazing play.
close play, but he was out.
You know, I think that whole departure, the process was really smooth. We're all friends, and everybody supported the move, and it was clean. But, you know, facing Jackson, I know all his pitches. I've seen him for the past 10 years. It was fun.
We'll have to talk after this because I want to hear about Jackson's pitches. I can't figure them out, so it'd be great to do that.
I was the first at bat and hit a home run off him, so
Got it.
I'm your guy, right?
Yeah, well, we'll hear that.
All right, that's a
Twin.
Twins win over the Rockies.
The Twins look good.
Already secured a playoff spot, but they said, we're not done. We're going to keep winning.
And I don't want to disrespect any other team in this league, especially not the Astros, but if I'm picking a champion right now for this year, if you don't pick the Twins, I don't think you're paying attention.
They have
They
one
look
loss.
good. Other teams are hot. They look good. From beautiful Manchester, Missouri, John Light,
John
John
Callaway.
Callaway, sign off. Thank you for watching.